nice to have you back. Forgive me if I choose not to engage you any longer. Your choices are suspect at best.
You have returned.
Glynel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. She has claim over many stories, but still, why would the codex reveal itself to a child of dust? I was unaware that you were associated with Lady Caer. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. Perhaps another of your tales will be written within. The fabled Codex of Destiny. When the Fate Weavers formed their order, our High King gave his own wisdom to assist them. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, but why did it reveal itself to you? If you had told me such a thing before your adventure with the Maid of Windermere, I would have doubted you. Now, I can make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm sure you think it is. I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. But this codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be... I'm sorry, but I must ask you to take it away. I will have no part in these lies. He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author can tell you. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Glynel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex, the High King himself. It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Nyralim is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me, although perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him. You'll find him in southeast Dalantoth at Caer Nyralim. Just head towards the giant tree, and, well, you'll see. I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right? That codex isn't just a complicated lore stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Titarian himself, no less. Interesting. We are the charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. That old coward. He may have lived 100 heroic lives, but he's lost the moment he faces something truly new, pathetic. The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them, time and again. Nyralim is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer. But he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. The Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Nome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nyralim and I have our disagreements. Good luck with Nyralim, and ignore anything he says about me.
Nyralim says few words, and even fewer words are spoken of the children of dust. You are quite the exception. Nyralim would not mention you unless there was some pressing matter of fate. You should speak with the wise tree yourself and learn of what has been foreseen. Chosen by the Summer Court, I serve as one of many tenders to Nyralim. Occasionally I'm privileged enough to hear the wisdom of the great tree itself. Nyralim is wiser than King Titarian and older than memory itself. Nyralim's words of wisdom carry much weight with the Summer Court. We care for the tree, making sure it grows strong and true. But we are more than just simple gardeners. It is an honor to be one of the chosen who meditate in the shade of Nyralim's wisdom, cultivating and bonding with its spirit. Go with wisdom.
Nyralim was a sapling long ago, when Dalentarth was a barren waste. Nyralim was a sapling long ago. Careful where you tread, for these grounds are sacred. Careful where... Nyralim, may your wisdom grow within us all.
The great tree speaks to few. Consider yourself blessed. The wise tree knows all of time, but shares it with no one.
Nyralim, may your wisdom grow within us all.
The maid, convinced of Olain's threat, agreed to free the town. The people offered thanks and praise, and quietly she went her ways. Once the ill were brought to health, and the villain had fallen by, good Olain returned to mortal ground, and gifted them with magic found.
Come closer, little curiosity. The curious one seeks a way to the Fae, but it has found its way to the boughs of the World Tree instead. Rest, Quickling, and I may study you. Look around you, and I am all that you can see. My roots spread across Dalantarth. My leaves read the winds from Frostbrine Coast to Alabastra. My family and I circle this world. We were saplings when your kind emerged from the dark, and we will grow with you until this world burns once again. My roots spread wide and deep, and I have heard what brought you here, but I cannot see where you go hence. The time of the Fae is passing. I must shelter them in their twilight, and protect them from the Prismere corruption that spreads in their kin. The gardens of fate are clear to me, and all that ever shall be are visible in its blooms. Issa's end has always been certain. Buried beneath Prismere blades, I can only hold back the tide. But you, perhaps you can change the currents. Where you tread, you mark all you touch. Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener, or a careless reaper? Like all quicklings, you are eager to act. I would rather see the method of your action. A tribe of trolls has been corrupted with Prismere. Their matriarch, Nash, has united the clans in the first step on the path of Dalantarth's demise. You can change this fate, but to what? In doing so, you may awaken a more dangerous threat, like your ally, Aelin Caer. She walks a dark and tangled path. A path you once walked together before you died. But your path is your own now. Defeat Nash, remove the taint of Prismere. Then I shall see who you are, if not who you will become. Aelin Caer is a mystery and a simplicity. She is focused in a way few quicklings are. Her dedication is true, but I do not know the cause. Together you have walked dark paths beneath my boughs. You knew one another before your death, or thought you knew each other. Like the sun in the sky, they knew me when I was a sapling, and they will know me when I rot. But they will never know change, nor how to save themselves from their patterns. Only one Fae has ever truly changed, and he now leads an army to destroy your kind. The fates of quicklings are very simple. Growing, consuming, expanding, dying, and always rushing predictably along your paths. You are unique among them. You decide your own direction. But does that mean you will choose anything different? The troll matriarch. Prismeer has corrupted her, making her cruel, cunning, and far more ambitious than her brethren. She bears the marks of the Tuatha, and she shares their murderous intent. I am as world trees have ever been since the dawn of time. I watch, I understand, and I remember. To creatures of flesh like yourself, Prismeer is a powerful tool to harness magic. But to creatures of pure magic, like Tuatha or trolls, Prismeer is so much more. To them, it is a curse, a blessing, and a rapture all in one. It drives them and consumes them. And to the weak-willed, it corrupts them utterly. I can no longer ignore the quicklings like your kind, who rush through the world, ever anxious, ever eager, ever evolving, but never changing. Fools who hack at my roots and burn, and sometimes sages who hang from my branches and learn. The last great Fae City, at once the birth of their dream, the throne of their great realm, and the deathbed of their kind. In thanks to High King Titarian, my boughs stand vigil over their city in their twilight. Only by my leave may visitors see them in their weakness. The troll matriarch and her brood await at Haxi. Their corruption burns my roots and threatens our future. Walk your path and watch your ally.
I thought I'd find you here. If you were anyone else, I'd say it was destiny. But in this case, it was that damned tree. He's got roots and branches all through this forest. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. We've known for a long time that Prismere crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkwolfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Nyralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. Let's not keep Nash waiting. Trolls aren't normally this well organized. Even the biggest clans never built dens this deep.
No more delays.
There's a time to talk and a time to fight. We need to keep moving. Be on your way. two Arthur doing here? There's a time to talk and a time to fight. Be on your way. If these trolls ever went on a rampage, they could destroy half of Dalentar. Prismir. Looks like the Tuatha have been working here for a long time. If they've come this far inland, we're all in grave danger. What have the Tuatha done to her? Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. Obviously, the Tuatha have bigger plans than just killing you. Infusing the trolls with Prismeer, trying to bring the war to Dalentar? Nyralim was right to be concerned. Aren't I always? But have patience. For now, why not take comfort in knowing that you saved Nyralim and his forest? Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll allow you into Issa. I'll stay here and finish off any remaining Tuatha. You can tell the old mossy log yourself. I'll be tracking down any other Tuatha that may have come this far west. I'll find you again when the time is right. Nyralim surely knows that you're coming. Be on your way.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path. And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismeer and pain. You have only delayed our doom. I have already given you much. Now you must learn what you have received. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa. And perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Nash and her brood would have spread across Dalentarth and brought the taint of Prismeer with them. So it forever was to be, until you set about to stop it. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She, and if that path includes the gardens of Issa, I shall allow it. May your path be long and evergreen.